Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. It's a new week of comics in my hands. Is one of those releases. It's Undone by Blood, or The Shadow of a Wanted Man, number 5. Wrapping up the first story arc of this series. Yes, I said the first story arc because today, with the release of this issue, they've also announced a second story arc, and the back of this comic also announces that second story arc, so not really spoilers at all. And it should be interesting to see where the series goes. Based off of like what's been revealed. I think that's actually kind of cool. So this series is a revenge tale of a girl whose family has been killed by drug addicts and some drug organization. She's out to get revenge. Juxtaposed with that is this classic story, this old Western story of a gunslinger trying to take on, of course, like all the bad guys in the town. So it's interesting, like reading the two as the comic bounces back and forth. Not quite sure the two like really melded a ton to the point that one was needed. Though I appreciate it. I kind of like the dual thing. Like it might have been worked, I think, cooler as a flip book, if that makes sense. I don't know if I dig the going back and forth. I just do like I think the Western, old school Western story like really emphasizes how much the modern story is a Western. Like it just really shows kind of the themes that we've grown up and really kind of expected in that sort of in that genre. So after that long intro, so Undone by Blood is by Lonnie, Nadler, and Zach Thompson, who are the writers and co-creators. Sami Kivelä is the artist and co-creator as well. Jason Wordie is the colorist. Hassan Otsmane-Elhaou is the letterer. So this, as I said, this wraps up the first arc, and I dig it. So there's a bunch of stuff that's left open. It might be a little frustrating. There's things that are happen off page that you find out kind of later through dialogue. It's interesting. Like it's one of those it works as a story. I don't know if it necessarily works as a comic story. It might actually work better as a live action story, if that makes sense. But overall, like I like it. Like I kind of dug how it wrapped up. It wasn't a neat story, like a neat ending with the bow on top where everything is like clean, revenge is got, and yay, bad guys taken care of. It really kind of has that theme of like shit begets shit, and you know, life sucks. Like that's kind of it's a downer. It's kind of a downer. Really thinking this is yeah. But it's good. Like if you like that kind of old school revenge story, it sort of remind me of like the 80s, 70s, that genre of revenge stuff, where you know, and maybe even kind of a little old school Punisher in some ways too. Family killed, going out to go seek revenge due to the family being killed. It works, and I think works pretty well due to that. Like it's a really fascinating series, and I'm kind of fascinated to see where the second volume goes from there, considering what the first one was. So showing off some of the art, it's cool. I think this issue has a bit more of a Western feel to it. It bounces back and forth in time and actually shows how a family was murdered. And we're going to kind of stop there. It kind of gets pretty gruesome at that point. And, you know, that part I don't know if we necessarily need to see as much as we saw. I think like the ending, it could have worked a little bit cooler if it was hinted at and teased as opposed to directly seen. But overall, like it works. Like it works really well as the final issue for the series. I think it wraps things up not nicely, but like nicely. It does it in a good way, and as a reader, I felt like really satisfied by it. So if you like those revenge stories, if you like the family killed and the lone surviving member of the family has to go seek revenge against the killers, like you're gonna dig this series. It's got that old school. There's that nice like corrupt sheriff, or is he corrupt? Is he not corrupt? Is the town in on it? Like, as I said, like really good themes and kind of tropes that we've seen in Westerns time and time again, and done in a modern setting. So interesting stuff. As I said, can't wait to see what the second volume is like of this series when it comes out. So go get it. This is in comic shops now. Obviously, final issue of the series, not exactly a place to start. But if you've been reading, you should finish it up. And if you haven't, like, the trade will be out, I think, relatively soon. You should definitely get the trade. I think it's if you like the genre, like, pick it up. It's entertaining. And we'll, of course, have a review of the trade when it comes out and go through the extras and all that. So, out in comic shops, this final issue. Go pick it up. We got a link beneath this video where you can put in your zip code. It'll tell you the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some affiliate links. There are affiliate links, so we get a small percentage of that. By doing that, you help support our site. But really, you should go support your comic shops. And speaking of support, I want to thank AfterShock for hooking us up with this review copy. We appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Now, if you're into AfterShock, if you're into comics, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all those sites, and many more, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So, until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.